Yo, how's it going, everybody? It's MacklinGaming. I might look a little bit different today because I got a new camera, which I think, looks a little bit better with the colors and everything. But, until I figure out a free way to export videos in 4K, still going to be 1080p, but I think it's a bit of an upgrade anyway. As you can see, I've got the Yeti Blue Snowball microphone from like 6 years ago. So some things still need to be upgraded, but I think it sounds pretty good as well. As we keep growing, I'll keep improving the setup and all that and see if we can get something a little more professional looking. But anyway, if you're a big fan of video games out there, you might know that the second week of June is a very special week every year, or at least it used to be back when, E3 was around. So E3 was every second week of June over the weekend, or it'd be like Thursday through Tuesday of the next week. And you'd have like a live festival showcase of all of these developers and companies coming together and showing off their new games and new technology like hardware and things. So every year around June, it was just the best time to get hyped for the latest video game releases. And then, by the time it was like 2019, it kind of fell off. And by 2020, E3 was completely ruined because of COVID and all that, the lockdowns. It went from this live festival, like a Lollapalooza for video games and video game fans, to, just a digital like video showcase, which is pretty much what we get today. Like it totally evolved into that. And that's what it was this year as well. But, I was going back and reminiscing and watching old E3 conferences that I used to get hyped for. Like I was really into E3 when I was in college because, the school year would end in June or like late May. And then boom, it's E3 and you're watching all the new releases and all the showcases from Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo. So, and even like Ubisoft and EA. And it was just a great time of the year every year. And I still try to get hyped around June for this because, so does Jeff Keighley, right? For Summer Games Fest. He's trying to carry the torch. IGN tried their thing with like an IGN Live, but I'm not going to talk about that in this video. But in this video, I'm just going to talk about this year's not E3 weekend, like Jeff Keighley's Summer Games Fest weekend. So more than a week ago, we had Sony PlayStation's State of Play, which they led off the E3 week and they went very early. I don't think a lot of people were very happy with the State of Play. And I'm a PS5 owner and I was looking forward to seeing like what Sucker Punch's next game is going to be. Is it Ghost of Tsushima 2? Is it going to be an Infamous? I was looking forward to some possible reveals from their big first party companies and there weren't many really at all. But I think the most important thing is they started off with that game Concord that looked horrible, right? I don't think anyone really cared about the CGI like movie we had to watch for 12 minutes. And they were trying to, showcase these new characters in this hero shooter. But I think Sony's like 6 years behind. They got the idea to do live service hero shooter games like back in the day in 2018, 2017 when they were popping off. And then this company's taken 6 years to make the game and now it's ready to be presented and it's just too late. I don't think anyone really is interested in this. And it's hard to, build up new characters or showcase a brand new IP and get people to love your new characters. So they tried with that, but as far as, the backlash from the internet, I don't think it went very well. So Concord wasn't a great start to the State of Play for Sony, but then they went on to do, Monster Hunter Wilds was there, Silent Hill 2, didn't really look great, but it was there. And then they ended with Astrobot, which was great. I think that's a game for all ages. It's just a fun platformer somewhere between like a Mario and a Ratchet and Clank type of game. So, I would give Sony like a C. So not a great start to the E3 or Summer Games Fest weekend, but next, we had Summer Games Fest itself. It was on this last Friday. So like over a week after Sony went, Jeff Keighley comes through and his showcase was, again, just kind of like mediocre, I would say. There were some things there, but there's a lot of indie games that I didn't really know about, I didn't really care for. They showed more Monster Hunter Wilds. It was just not a very memorable Summer Games Fest from Jeff Keighley, but it's still fun to just like sit back and watch these hour, 2 hour showcases about video games. Like I'm starting to feel the hype and the excitement again of it being, that E3 time, that second week of June. Here we are watching Jeff Keighley's thing, and it was all right. But then on Sunday, Xbox and Microsoft did their showcase. And holy shit, I did not see this coming one bit. I mean, that might have been the best showcase I've ever seen. Like, certainly in the digital showcase era of 2020, till present, like that Xbox showcase yesterday, as I'm making this video, was the best showcase. It was packed from beginning to end when they open with like Call of Duty, and then they're like, we'll show more of that later. And they showed Avowed, they showed Fable, Perfect Dark. I thought Perfect Dark was dead. Like, that game was going through development hell, it sounded like. So for Perfect Dark to show up, that was huge. It looked pretty good. And man, what's his name? Troy Baker, the voice actor for Indiana Jones. He's in like so many other games, like every other video game. He plays Joel in The Last of Us. He absolutely nails the Harrison Ford voice. It literally sounds exactly like him. Like, I don't get it. There's got to be some AI quantizing going on, or auto-tune with the voice acting there. But no, he's really good. So I am so hyped for Indiana Jones. That for me is like a childhood IP. Like when I was growing up, I was just watching the 3 movies, the originals, like over and over, like multiple times a day in a row. When I was like 5, that was my thing. It was like Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park, Star Wars. I just watched those on repeat. So I'm super hyped for the Indiana Jones game, but for Xbox to just come out like that with just every game was interesting and awesome. Stalker 2, and then they end with Gears of War, like a prequel. Like, holy smokes, I'm going to go back and play the original Gears of War on my Xbox 360 now after seeing that. Like, I got to get pumped. And, there were just so many great looking games. Fable really looked good. That's another game, like, not from my childhood, but more from like the college days of the Xbox 360 for me, playing Fable 2, and I still have my original copy of Fable 1 on the original Xbox, so I do still have that, but I'm very much looking forward to the new Fable, and I'm just really happy Xbox came through with this showcase of a generation, because they haven't been doing anything but taking L's, it seems like, in recent years, and for them to come through and fire on all cylinders, and it really made this time of year feel like E3 again, and it was super exciting to see that, and I hope, all those games come out as they were announced and dated, and everything goes smoothly for them, because Xbox doesn't need any more L's, but they just gave us the biggest W of the weekend, and I'm super happy about that. So what did you guys think about the Summer Games Fest weekend, what used to be E3? Do you miss E3? Do you like what they have going on these days? And what did you think about that Xbox showcase? Let me know down below. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.